OK， 要开始了。
Alright.
OK, ready? Hi guys, welcome back to Bigmouth Podcast. I'm Mamie and today I'm with Jaclyn.
Hi.
And we're gonna talk about rejection.
Yes.
Now, there are many different types of rejection. There's like, I think the first one that we all think of is like romantic rejection.
Hold on, I need a cough.
Alright. Yeah, first thing we think of is probably like romantic rejection. But there's also like other types of rejection, like societal rejection.
Such as bullying. Or,
Yes.
Bullying
When you're
at
excluded.
School or workplace.
Yes. Discrimination.
Yeah.
Yes. But then I think when you get to our age, when you're in high school, another type of rejection that we all fear is college rejections. Yeah. So recently, both Jaclyn and I experienced rejection from things we both really wanted. And what got us thinking about this topic was that like when we received the emails for like the rejection from the thing we really wanted, the first sentence was like, "We regret to inform you that we cannot offer you a position, blah blah blah," and that like sounded exactly like what they say in
college.
Yeah, college rejection letters. We were like, rejection sucks.
And the fact that we had two of them.
Wait, we didn't even tell them what it was yet.
Okay. So both of us got rejected from an acapella group we really wanted to get in.
Yeah, and it was like they just created this group, and it was like the first round of auditions.
Yeah. But there were a lot of people who auditioned.
And the second thing was we were both auditioning for the highest level choir group at our high school. And then like we both kind of expected to get into at least one of the two. And then I'd say we both like out of maybe like everyone who auditioned, we probably like were part of the people who wanted it the most. Cause like both Jaclyn and I are really passionate about singing and whatnot, but we
both been in choir for a very long time, since like 5th grade.
Yeah. We're rising juniors now, so about 6 years. But then we don't really have ways to like expand on that passion outside of choir class. So that's why at least I really wanted like acapella for that aspect. Mm-hmm. And then chamber, like the highest choir course, it's just after being in choir for so long, it's like normal to get to the to try to get to the highest level, and we're already like confident in our skills, and we know that it wouldn't be a problem for us to be in the highest level. And wait, let's explain the audition process a bit.
Yeah. Basically, for the acapella group, Miss Eideker gave us...
Our choir teacher.
Yeah, our choir teacher told us to prepare 2 songs, and these 2 songs had to contrast, and then 30 seconds each.
Yeah, like videos, we had to send them in.
Yeah, and then...
we spent like, maybe like several whole days working on these. Like,
I spent like...
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, 3 days?
I literally got depression over those videos. Like, I sang the same 30 seconds probably like 50 times. Yeah. And then for chamber, it's like an in-person audition with the choir teacher.
Yeah.
And that is stressful AF. Okay, the thing is like, so both of the results came out on the same day. We're gonna come out on the same day. And then for chamber, we kind of had an idea of what to expect.
It's more like every year there's a trend. Yeah. It's like senior
really,
priority.
Yeah, really severe senior priority.
And we kind of like predicted who
would get in.
Yeah.
So I guess like we were kind of expecting not to get into chamber, even though deep down we still really wanted to, and we were confident in our skills at that point, and like we knew that we could handle being in that type of ensemble. But the point is that we really, at least I really expected to get into acapella.
Yeah, me too.
'Cause like,
there were a few like people who auditioned.
Yeah.
And they weren't in choir at all.
Yeah, like cause we can see everyone who's gonna audition, and then so judging from that list, I kind of did some process of elimination and came down to like a perfect list, including both of us, and I was like, yes, this is it. But obviously, whoever gets in is not up to me.
Our expectations were just a bit too high.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we got the rejection letter for our chambers.
Chamber was
Chambers
first.
was first. And then I remember that was in the morning.
The funny thing. So they came out on the same day, right? And both on email. And then that morning we were like, shit, it's coming out. It's like, and I was like, oh, I want acapella. And then Jaclyn was like, oh, I want chamber more. And then in the middle of the day, I texted Jaclyn and I was like, wait, what if we don't get to either of them? And then she was like, no way, don't think about it. So a few hours later, we received the chamber email. And then both of us got rejected.
Yeah, and we were really depressed.
Yeah, I remember you were at home. I was with Chak at my house.
At night? No, I was outside.
Oh yeah, you were at dinner.
Yeah, I was at dinner outside. And also, I remember before, we were like, let's not ask each other about.
Yeah, because we were scared that if one of us got in and the other one didn't, then it would be like a little bit awkward. I was like, okay, well, acapella, I'm definitely like high hopes, manifesting this shit. And then we received the acapella email, and it fucking said like, we regret to inform you, and like a part of me died. I think my initial reaction was like, if not me, then who the fuck got in? Like, are you for real right now? I think my first initial reaction was anger. When we first had this idea of doing this podcast, we searched up the 5 stages of rejection, which are
denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. For me personally, for chamber, I really wanted to get into chamber singers, and when I received the rejection letter email, I was actually kind of shocked. Because even though I knew like
our choir teacher has senior party.
Yeah, has senior party, but like I was shocked.
Yes, me too.
And then it became anger.
Yeah,
I think
my anger lasted like a few days. Because I remember the next day I came to Blueprint and I was working on something with Nicole, and then I remember I was like really mad, and then she was like, you don't seem sad at all, and I was like, yeah, I'm just mad, and she was like, this is totally different because Jaclyn is depressed. And I was like, yeah, I'm not sad, I'm just mad. So I think you jumped straight to the depression part, and then I was still in the anger stage.
Yeah,
because like honestly my first reaction was like, fuck this, fuck that, I'm quitting choir, like this is just so rigged. But these are just the thoughts that I had in like a moment of rage. Like obviously we don't think that now because we've realized like what the real situation is, and like how we were just trying to find excuses for ourselves back then. So yeah, we don't think that now. Yeah. And then so I guess that was my initial reaction.
Yeah.
Jaclyn's initial reaction was tears.
Yeah. Especially after acapella.
Yeah. Because think about it, they both came like
on the same
in a span of a few hours. Jeez. So and then came, I think, after anger comes bargaining. And I think bargaining is kind of just like you're trying to twist your way around this rejection. You're trying to find like other factors or other reasons that could explain why you got rejection. Finjan, like everyone is at fault except for yourself. So, I mean, like, I remember I was texting Jaclyn, and then we were like coming up with a bunch of theories about why we didn't get accepted, like how our choir teacher doesn't want to split us apart, or that she wants to keep us in the lower choir to make sure it doesn't crash and burn with all the freshmen coming in.
Senior priority is also another reason, and also the limit to
the people. Yeah. I think at that point, we were just starting to feel, like, a little bit insecure. Because, like, we started to doubt, especially Jaclyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we started to doubt, like, our own abilities. Like, whether or not we were actually as good at singing as we thought we were. Or, like, because there's, like, we couldn't think of a reason why we weren't worthy of that position. Because based off of our extensive analysis, we felt like our skills were better than some of the people who got in. So not getting in as compared to them got us thinking like, why not us? Like, why them but not us? Like, what do they have that we don't? And then so we just started like kind of doubting ourselves and kind of like putting ourselves down. I remember like I Jaclyn was texting me and she was like, fuck, I'm so bad at singing, bro. And you're like, what if I'm actually really bad? Yeah, so bargaining is step 3. Actually, okay, to be honest,
I think depression and anger can come both
together.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the first, like anger, bargaining, and depression are kind of like mixed together.
Yeah, I feel like everyone has different like stages. It depends on the
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acceptance though. Like I looked at multiple like 5 stages of rejections and then all of them end in acceptance.
But I feel like it's more like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
That kind of acceptance.
Kind of like I can't come up with any more like bullshit reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like for the ones that we experienced, like choir and the acapella group, we kind of just realized that there's nothing we can do about it. And then like getting mad over it is not going to change the fact that we didn't get in. And then like slowly we kind of realized that nobody is really at fault, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we thought like, oh, the choir teacher is just mad at us so she didn't let us in. Oh, like blah, blah, blah. I think like, yeah, okay, I guess I didn't get in. Well, what else is there that I can do?
So I guess different people deal with these kind of situations differently. I think like people who have more higher expectations like get more depressed, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause yeah.
And like I think there's like something that we all think about is like if we have lower expectations then we won't be as disappointed.
But I don't think that is.
I think like because even if you say like, oh yeah, like for example APs.
Yeah.
If I say like, oh yeah, I'm expecting a 1, yeah, like I definitely didn't
you
pass.
say that, but you definitely don't think that.
Everyone wants to get in or everyone wants the perfect score. Like nobody actually just wants a low score for themselves.
And it's also like peer pressure too.
Yeah, like if for example, if everyone does really well,
then
yeah. And I think people also say like, oh, I have low expectations for myself because they don't want to like throw out a really high score and then like not get it really... and then everyone like be embarrassed about it. For example, like if someone was like, yeah, I think I got a 1600 and everyone was like, yeah, go you, and then turns out she got like a 1000, then it's really awkward for the person who thought they were gonna get 1600.
Yeah. It's also like an excuse for yourself.
Yeah. And like with your point about how like people deal with it differently, some people I feel like some people fall into this kind of pit where they
stop trying.
Yeah, they stop trying for anything. They get rejected from a lot of things they wanted and they just kind of close themselves off and develop like a fear of rejection. I think
it like causes people to, I guess, like pull away
from challenges.
Yeah.
So I think I can relate to this because I in freshman year I ran for Stuco and I got it. Like I was rep for that year, and in sophomore year I ran again and I lost. And I was like, okay. Actually, that year I was really sad because back then I didn't have any like clubs or activities, so I was like, Stuco is my thing. Like, but then I didn't get in. But I'm glad for that because it kind of forced me to do other things. But that's not the point. So in junior year, I ran for rep again for junior year, and I really expected to get it because there were only 4 candidates and 3 reps, but I didn't. And I was honestly really disappointed because I always wanted that leadership position, not only for like college apps or whatever, just because I would like to be involved, but I didn't. I was, I guess you could say, rejected from it 2 years in a row. And obviously I feel discouraged, but I feel like I guess I'm just not made out for it. Like there are other things I can do and other things I can pursue that don't include student council, and I think I'll be fine with that. And that's why I'm glad that I didn't get in sophomore year because it forced me to find other passions besides like student council. But then some people who get rejected once or twice from the same thing, they'll be like really insecure. Like, why did I get rejected so many times? And like, I can't do anything right. and then they don't make an effort to look for other things. But the truth is, I think what's important is that when we get rejected from things that we really wanted, we need to realize by ourselves that we're actually not made out for that. I guess that's just not our thing. There's like millions of other things that we can try, and you won't find your perfect like match on the first attempt.
Yeah. And I think like everyone, or we can say like humans now have evolved to experience like rejection as something painful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. We can just look at it as like trying.
Yeah, trial and error.
If we never try, then how are you gonna find like the perfect one? Like if you expect to get the perfect one on the first try, like that shit's just not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is like kind of unrelated, but kind of related. I feel like, you know, like a lot of people talk about this when we look at like social media or whatever. We always see perfect lives of people online and like all their happy photos and like their achievements and whatever. And then when we experience rejection in our own lives, we're like, I'm just stupid. Like everyone else is like achieving this and that. But I think like social media is fake.
And everyone has like rejection.
Yeah, everyone experiences rejection.
Sometime in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so psychological effects also kind of connects to like fear of rejection because it like kind of co-occurs with I guess self-criticism and like also anxiety in like social situations and definitely depression afterwards, like we talked about already. Like it makes people feel like not wanted or valued or accepted.
Yeah, and like we said, it's like PTSD of trying new things.
Yeah.
Like whenever you want to attempt something new, you're like, oh yeah, remember that time that I was rejected? I'm probably gonna get rejected from this too. I'll just not give it a shot.
It develops a chronic fear.
Yeah, it's like you doubt yourself on everything, even things that are not related. Yeah, honestly, like in this time and age, I feel like people give up too easily. We all try to find alternatives without actually giving it a shot first. And we're all just lazy fucks, actually. Yeah. We're too lazy to go the hard route. And it's all part of growth, you know, like if we don't experience rejection, then we're never gonna grow and we're gonna expect life to be all like happy and rainbows and shit. Look at me right now, I'm so wise. And
it can also lead to like bigger consequences, like self-harm if you're getting depression from social rejection.
Yeah. Or even romantic rejection. Yeah. Or any rejection of any sort.
Eating disorder can be a problem too.
Yeah. I think it just all comes down to the way that you deal with the rejection. And from like to that, what we want to say is that rejection is inevitable.
And it's like how you cope with it.
And it's not even like when you get rejected from things, it's like it's almost never your own personal problem, like with yourself.
Yeah.
You don't.
And also, like this kind of ties with, like, if you ever believe in everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like destiny. I don't know, like how you say it, but.
Yeah. Like exactly. Like everything happens for a reason. If you get rejected, seriously, go find something else to pursue. And if that doesn't work, there's other things. Like, you may think that what you're trying to go for right now is your one and only, your passion for life, and your purpose and career, and what you're gonna do until you die, and what brings you happiness, and you get rejected from it. Either try again, or like, find something else. 'Cause have you ever seen that thing where it's like all billionaires with those like billions of dollar companies? Like at first they started off with this like really wild and shitty idea, and everyone was like, wow, that is a wild and shitty idea. But then they kept like going at it, and then they worked on it for like several years, and then now they're billionaires. If you don't know much about that, go Google it, because I don't either. But like, what I'm trying to say is that nothing is gonna come without work or like trouble, so you have to be tough.
And I guess that kind of ties into, like, college applications
Yeah.
and college acceptances. Like, how you cope with these rejections. Like, I guess the number one thing is don't take it personally.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, especially with college acceptances, those, what are they called? The people who do it?
Ministry.
Those people don't know you personally.
Yeah.
Like, they're not rejecting you based off of your personality or whatever. Like,
Remember, they have a lot of people.
And remember that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't get into your dream school and you end up going to your, like, second choice, you'll probably be happy there too. And probably you might be happier even. And
get excited about other
maybe
schools.
there won't even be a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
maybe the top choice, like, wasn't.
It just wasn't for you.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, there's new opportunities everywhere and things to be excited for everywhere. And
maybe you'll get a scholarship to your second top or another school.
We need to keep that mindset when it comes around for our round of college applications. Because we're just, like, rising juniors right now, and we're already getting, like, nervous over college applications.
And also, like, social media can also make this a gruesome process. Because you know how, like, when people get accepted, they post on their Instagram and such. Yeah, so, like, I feel like when it's our turn, we just need to remember what we said today. Like, I think everything, all this advice applies to, like, all types of rejection, or, like, all types of processes where there's, like, a yes or no answer. And I guess, like, since we're already, like, getting really scared about it, because, I mean, it hurts, right? Because you're working so hard for it, like, all 4 years of high school, and I'm talking about college rejections right now. Like, you work for it, you work so hard for it, and those schools, like, judge you based off of a few essays and your grades or whatever, and they decide that you're not the right fit. But yeah, I know, like, we're saying, like, stay optimistic and, like,
but it's harder than it sounds.
Yeah, but I feel like we shouldn't, like, skip the grieving process, because that's
important.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as we're making it out to be, but,
like, it's not easy to adapt to the change or,
it's
like,
a valuable process.
Accept the news.
Like I said, like, for my Stuco example, I was sad when I didn't get in the first year. Like, sad. Like, how do I explain this? I was sad. 'Cause back then, I didn't have a college counselor. I didn't have, like, any of my own projects or clubs. And then I was just like, oh, student counseling, this awesome leadership position is what's going to get me into college. And I need it. And not getting in and me being, like, depressed AF for, like, a few days, that forced me to look into other directions. That forced me to, like, find other places to immerse myself in, find other, like, passions to pursue. Because obviously, since Stuco is not working out for me, I needed to find other things, and that kind of forced me to do it. So that's why rejection can sometimes be good, even though it sounds so terrible and, like, one of our biggest fears.
Yeah. And I think another way you can deal with, like, rejections is, like, I guess find people to talk to.
Yeah.
Or, like, find older kids or alumni.
Yeah.
That have been through this process before.
For example, like, what helped is that we both experienced, like, the same type of rejection for the choir and acapella, and we kind of helped each other get through it because we were both experiencing the same things.
Yeah.
And it helps when you go through it with someone else. And especially things for, like, college acceptances. I mean, like, almost everyone has to go through that.
Yeah,
like,
everyone.
At least everyone in our community. So if you are sad about it, don't forget that it's not just you.
Yeah.
Like, you can talk to anyone about this, and all your peers are scared about the same thing.
I searched this thing up, but I don't know if it's true. And it said, rejection temporarily lowers your IQ.
Facts, bro.
Does it?
Like, if you like, okay, everyone has experienced rejection before, right? So go back to your chat history with someone else after you experienced rejection. Wait, what's something that we said after we got rejected? We were like, oh, the teacher hates us so much because we talk in class, and that's why she didn't move us to the high level, and that's why she didn't accept us into the acapella group.
Anyway, after rejections, our minds don't think clearly.
And that can cause us to make a lot of wild assumptions that can end up making ourselves more sad, but it's all part of the process of like healing.
That's just how it works.
Yes. Yeah, and don't be afraid to talk to your friends about this because we all go through rejection at some point and nobody is like immune to feeling sad about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rejection is normal. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to be angry. Just don't lash out on someone else because it's not their fault. Yeah. Thank you for joining me on this podcast, Jaclyn Wong.
You're welcome.
You will be seeing her again because I have no friends and I need people to be on my podcast. Go check out other episodes such as the one I did with Sanil Damla about identity in terms of nationality and ethnicity. Thank you. Goodbye.